People came to me with one of three problems.
One!
They were living in terrible Skid Row hotels and wanted help getting decent housing or to force the landlord to make the housing habitable.
Two!
If they had worked, they were being exploited by their employer, like the day labor agency that would take them to an outlying community and then ditch them there and not pay them, or the terrible garment factory sweatshops.
Three!
If they were all trying to get help at the welfare office, they were turned away because they didn't have identification, or they were too mentally disoriented to be able to fill out the form.
Shortly after I started the clinic in November 1980, Ronald Reagan was elected and social safety net started to get dismantled. People who had formerly been poor but surviving on unemployment or food stamps and housing vouchers started falling through to the streets.
Young people that I talk to now are like,
okay, so we have homeless people, whatever.
I remember when they came out with a homeless doll. I was shocked at the vicinity of it. I thought,
Now, homeless is cute. Instead of saying,
this is not acceptable! Not acceptable.
At some point, it spilled over. It spilled over into 1983. I saw the first bodies lying on the street.
little by little, people began talking about it, writing about homelessness as a social issue. Non-profit organizations came together to try to do these barrack-type shelters, they thought.
If we just do shelters, they'll go away.
It took a long time for the powers that be to realize,
Some of them still don't realize
that homelessness ends when people can afford their housing. It's not a disease.
the city was debating a new redevelopment plan when Tom Bradley came to office as mayor. It was a moment of opportunity. They had a plan called the Civil Book Plan that basically would have demolished all of Skid Row, got rid of all affordable housing like they done on Bunker Hill. We wanted to preserve the housing and consolidate the services. But with some people in the Community Design Center and legal aid, we made up our own plan called the Blue Book, and it passed.
Now, the Blue Book Plan is known as the containment policy, but it saved the housing. It created SRO housing. SRO started buying up slum hotels and renovating them. The Skid Row Development Corporation was created. It was the only way to preserve the services and the housing. They could gentrify outside Main Street, and we could build our community in the 50 blocks down here.
President Jeff, welcome.
Thank you very, 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 very much. It's a great group, a great skit, and wanted to tell you that we've been here for over 40 years, and we're not leaving.
within the 50 blocks of Skid Row, there are what we call
single room occupancy hotels.
There are about 11,000 people on the row. 8,000 live in the hotel.
And then there's another number that live in the Mission.
and the rest on the sidewalks. So this again, it has always been primarily an endangered low-income residential
community. To put together a little organization.
The Musicians Network!
And invite all the musicians. We put out ads in the community that said,
play an instrument?
Want to be in a band?
Need some rehearsal space?
We started distributing these flyers around, and we had a tremendous response. We had a ton of people.
The Skid Row Musician Network had its own logo. A man with a guitar on his back pushing a shopping cart.
Another planet!
Appropriately, April 15th, 1988, I carved a sign that said,
"Welcome visitors from all planets."
right underneath it said,
No shirt?
And no shoes.
"No problem." Next, I carved a sign that said,
It's later than you think. I put out pianos right here and a lot of chessboards, and I built a little stage for poetry, and I began to do a miniature library and art easels. And the local community started coming in, mixing and mingling, and I had things that would sell. I had a little gift shop. That's right, I had everything priced in pennies. So if you wanted a harmonica, it was 498 pennies today only. You figure it out. Accordions, 1,996 pennies. And a little toy cash register. Ding!
I was a cocaine addict, and I would hallucinate a lot when I would take a puff. It was like everything got enlarged and made noises and stuff like that. One time!
Spark got me involved in the mural project on 5th and Crocker. I was happy to do that. I was happy to do artwork anywhere because that's what I do.
I wondered how I got that wall done. I was up on that scaffold. I was so high. I was high.
Now, I'm living in Baldwin Hill. I got up from Skid Row and was blessed to go to Baldwin Hills. I got my own apartment. I sleep all day. I eat all day. Once in a while, I might even draw me a picture. But I'm fairly happy. I just enjoy my life.
I then went to the city and I asked them for trash cans for the Skid Row area. The city said,
You can't have any. That cost $3,500, and in Skid Row, they disappear.
$3,500? Can you believe that? So I went and bought my own plastic trash cans. We painted them, put them out in the community, and then we started cleaning up the street ourselves. I called it Operation Facelift.
words to some of the songs, and we each sang a couple of songs for the church service, and the two pastors, when we got done, Pastor Scott and Pastor Ramsey said,
"Wouldn't it be a wonderful outreach to the community to have a karaoke night down here?"
The first year, we would have 300 people every Wednesday night.
I love him, I love him, I love him, and if he goes, I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow, I will follow him.
You know, life has changed so much for me. You know, being homeless and pushing a basket, people not wanting to walk by you because my hair was out to here. Now she's got it band up, so I'm good. I never thought that we would be able to bless the community with the karaoke thing, where people could come in, get a good cup of coffee, you know, and sing a song and just really have a blast.